So, hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this game of Expeditions Viking. This is one I've had my eye on for years. I actually installed this back in 2019, I just never actually booted it up and tried it. But with the release of Expeditions Rome and it looking very cool, it kind of reminded me that this existed. I did play the game prior to this, which was Expeditions Conquistador, and found it alright. It was one of those games that's a little bit too hard for my taste. But we'll see how Expeditions Viking is. Plus, you know, the whole theme I kind of like. So that is what we're going to do. Also, we did get a couple of new subscriptions coming through. The Nodster coming in with a 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there. And then Bussy coming in with a 33-month resubscription. Hope everybody is having a lovely day. I am having an excellent day so far. Thank you very much. Hope you are as well. So, yes, Expeditions Viking. I'm just going to pour myself some tea and then we are going to jump in and see what this is all about. So, just as a preface, I haven't even done the tutorial or anything for this, so we are entering this like a complete and utter newbie. Quack, your Streamlabs stream counter is giving the wrong time. You mean the countdown? Because I don't use Streamlabs for time. So I'm not sure what entirely you mean about that. Of the 3 games, Vikings has the best story. Rome is fun, but had a hard time going, why do I care? On the About section of your stream. Twitch stream. About section of Twitch stream. What do you mean? It's Twitch. Oh, that thing! Yeah, I keep forgetting that even exists. Okay, thank you for the reminder. I will look at that after the stream. Because basically I have to update my stream schedule every week in 3 different places, and I often forget the third one, which is that. And I have forgotten that that exists consistently for, well, since the times changed. So thank you for that. Cool. I'll look at it. Right, so we are going to do a new game, and we're going to see what happens. Ragnar Lodbrok Hard. Ragnar Shaggy Breeches was the legendary Viking who raided and blackmailed France and England. He won power and wealth, but ultimately met a bloody death at the hands of his enemies. You'll be met with great resistance, but your victory will be all the more sweeter for it. So we can change the different difficulties. So we could do Ivar Brownlessy. Ivar the Boneless was one of the leaders of the great heathen army that invaded Britain in the late 9th century. If you pick this setting, you may face major challenges, but you are likely to prevail in the end. Leif Erikson. The best of them all, Leif the Lucky was the Icelandic explorer who discovered North America. Though his successors' attempts to settle went poorly, Leif's own expeditions were highly successful and peaceful. If you choose this setting, luck will favour your expedition well. Or Eric Bloodaxe was a Norwegian raider who briefly ruled Northumbria in the 10th century before he was betrayed and killed. You'll find no mercy. Your enemies will be relentless and your trials numerous. Grueling defeat is the most likely outcome. So I think I'm probably going to do Ivar. Like I said, I found Conquistador annoyingly difficult. I mean, we could do custom somewhere between the two. Like the fact that the enemies and I do the same damage. I can't actually tweak these. Oh, okay. It's just a lot further along than I expected. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make the combat the same difficulty, but then the outer combat stuff a bit easier. That seems reasonable to me, so let's try that. Leif Erikson was also the inventor of the mobile phone. Haha. Oops, new game. So we're doing my difficulty. That apparently is stored. We are definitely not doing Iron Man. Let's do it! Sustaining injuries does not put herdmen out of action, but they will incur penalties in and out of combat. Good evening, Quackus. Sindrin, Expeditions Viking. But Vikinger literally means to go on an expedition, so it's expeditions. Yes. Yes, it is. Right, so our name is not Helgi, it is Mordred. And our father's name shall be Mordred, son of Mordred. Mordredson. Magma. That's my usual dwarf name. Complexion. That's fine. Eye colour, blue. Hair colour, slightly more orangey. Medium size. Stubbled. Braided, goateed, full beard, bushy beard! Long goatee, thick braid, full braided. Full braided looks cool. Then this is hair on top. Not undercut. I always think the undercut looks stupid. Pulled back looks pretty cool. That's very Viking. Or possibly ponytail. Let's do ponytail. Heavy sleeves, braces, light sleeves, or nothing. I think we're going to go with the heavy sleeves. Cloth, boots, sandals, wraps. I'm going to go with boots. Boots. Colours. My favourite colour is blue. No, yellow! Where's black? I want black. Blue and black. Light blue and black? Black and black? The man in black. Oh, I see. It also changes your banner. So our primary colour, blue. Secondary colour, I think honestly black. And then tertiary colour, yellow? Red? Let's go red. Cool. These boots were made for raiding. That's what good boots do. One of these days, these boots are going to raid all over you. It'd be great if these types of character creators had a mirror behind the character so you didn't have to rotate to check their hair. That's actually a very good point. You're not wrong. I'm not actually buying the fully braided beard anymore. Maybe just a full beard. Nah. Full braided. It's actually the kind of the ponytail that I'm not buying right now. Loose. I think the headband looks pretty cool too, I must admit. Let's go with the headband. Looks more noble. Ah yes, and then portrait as well. Well, that... that's him! Looks a bit goofy though. There you go. Of the portraits, I think I prefer that one. Except for the hair colour being the wrong colour. I just go black hair, just so we have that. Brown, it's more like brown. So we actually look like the portrait. This is one thing that always bugs me, is when the portrait doesn't actually look like the character. Alright, we'll go brown hair. Primary stats. So, we've got strength, endurance, finesse, perception, and sense. Born to Magnar and Astrider in the year 769, the Julian calendar, which bright blue eyes and hair brown as the earth. Oh, hang on. Just out of interest, what does it say about this? The hair the colour of fire. Hair the colour of blood. I mean, we gotta be fire hair. Mordred fire hair. Sounds a bit better than earth hair. Alright, we'll play as Goofy. So we've got hit points, we've got accuracy, block chance, critical, damage reduction, physical resistance, mental resistance, and then stamina. Strength determines base damage and with axes and swords and affects physical resistance. Strength is essential for warriors and will essentially enable knockouts and other physical feats in dialogue. Endurance determines hit points, base damage reduction, block chance with shields and affects stamina. Endurance is most important in frontline fighters. Finesse determines base damage with knives and spears and critical chance with all weapons. Finesse is important for ranged characters and fast-handed rogues and occasionally be used for surprise attacks and dialogue. Perception determines accuracy with ranged weapons. Perception is crucial for archers and will often reveal additional information during dialogue. Or sense affects mental resistance and stamina. Sense is fundamental to witches, skalds, and other support characters and can often be used for persuasion in dialogue. It's actually a pretty good question. What type of thing do I want to do? We also have skill points over here. So we've got axe, bow, Dane axe, which is the two-handed axe, knife, shield, sling, spear, sword, unarmed. Then various different abilities. Oh, dual wield. Ah, I see. Weapon skills, offensive skills, support skills. So that's a AoE buff. War cries, heals, leadership, protect, raises the damage reduction of any adjacent friendly target to match the user's damage reduction. So we could go like high endurance, and sense. Be a bit of a tank. Activate snares, spot traps, tactical move, free for all characters. So we get that anyway. Taunt and then witchcraft. Governed by sense, converts herbs into medicine, grants debuffs during combat. Interesting. Utility. Good for keeping the party equipped, happy, and well fed, and are generally more party group things. Allows you to craft weapons and armor. Improves the stuff you craft. Bonuses during camping. Ability to craft weapons. Dialogue. Security during camping for one shift. Fully rested. Hunting. Preserving. Repair. Scouting. Tinkering. And then we've got passive. Small but permanent boosts to specific stats to give you the extra edge. Melee damage, hit point. Oh, when your hit points are low. Avenger damage on anyone who's killed one of your allies. Damage versus harried. Damage after kills. Crit chance, reduction. Ranged reduction. Better at flanking. Crit chance. Extra hit points from restoring and reviving. So if we're going as a frontliner, that might be quite a good one to have. Extra hit points. Armor pierce for all attacks if you're ranged. When you're away from your allies. Lower chance that enemies will target you. That's good for sneaking. Mental resistant night. Accuracy to penalties at night. Reduces accuracy penalties at night. Movement penalty of armor. That's quite good. Attacks of opportunity will apply stunned, point blank. How much is that? Range to have 100% crit chance in close. Can move around. Chance to get extra attacks. Damage to opposite sex. Halves the damage penalty for aimed shot. I guess that's just range. There's a lot of ranged only abilities here. I think I'm going to go with a tank. Tank and sense, with maybe some crafting skills. What are the presets? Oh yeah. Berserker. Relentless and violent melee character who can dual wield axes and swords. Warrior, well-rounded melee character, devastating with axe and shield. Defensive melee character trained with sword and board. Shifty rascal with a wide variety of nasty tricks. Strong melee character with some useful support and dialogue. Ranged support character specialising in restoration and debuffs. Ranged character designed for pure damage, deadly with a bow. Ranged support specialising in healing and full party buffs. And defensive ranged character who can hold their own in melee. So I'm thinking probably leader. So no finesse. Okay. Massive amounts of strength with physical resistance. I'm surprised that endurance is not that high. Perception, I guess, for the talking abilities. I've taken a point in bow, which I would definitely not do. Especially with that finesse. Oh no, it's perception that uses the bow, isn't it? Level 2 swords. Interrupt. That is a free one. Postpone a ranged attack until you have at least 75% chance of hitting an enemy during an enemy turn, or if they close within 75 hexes. Within 6 hexes. Cool. Leadership. Governed by sense. Grants a bonus to both resistances and unlock special conversation options. Yeah, leadership sounds really good. Tactical move we get for free. Cooking. Diplomacy looks good. Preserving converts meat into rations, sounds good. Now, as long as we have that adjacency bonus. Wait, that was one of these, wasn't it? Yeah, protect. I'm surprised you've not taken protect. Because our damage reduction should be really good. So, you know, I'm actually going to reduce our perception a tiny bit and put another point into endurance. Because our endurance is now really good. Get rid of the bow. Well, the bow could be useful if we're not immediately in combat. We'll have the sword and board out and move up close. Also, I don't have a shield skill. Really? Cooking sounds good. I mean, diplomacy is definitely the one that I want. So I'm just going to remove these. I'm guessing that second sword skill is super expensive. 9 points. Yeah, it'd be 100 to level up leadership further. Well, I definitely want protect. I think the protect sounds awesome. And then we have 11 points, which we could do for any of these. What's the craft armor? Oh, armor smithing. Requires crafting rank 1. Oh, crafting. I see, so that's going to be a pretty hefty investment. I'm going to... This isn't actually actually boosting resistances at all. This is just hit points. Which is weird, because it should be increasing base damage reduction. Nothing. Oh, it's that. How does that defensive skill work again? Raises the damage reduction of any adjacent friendly target to match the user's damage reduction. So that is explicitly damage reduction, so we do want more endurance. So I'm thinking we do something like this. You've grown to be a strong, tough and keen man, but of little grace. You are known amongst your clansmen as a foresighted leader with a great command of the battlefield. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for here. Super frickin' tanky. Which would really suggest that I need to have at least a point in shields. You don't get as many points here as I kind of thought. I'm guessing the 5 points stick over, so you can use them once you actually earn some extra points elsewhere. I doubt that they're just lost. So we would be able to pick up that skill in bow, or skill in crafting. Or nimble. Because I intend to be wearing super heavy armor. I mean, that's basically what the endurance is for. And then where possible, I basically always want to be adjacent to somebody, so that the protect can work. Unarmed? Nah. Spend all your skill points. Are you sure you want to continue? You can assign leftover skill points later. So yeah, that's fine. We'll save it.
Your father was a great warrior and a good husband, but he was not a strong chieftain to his clan. As he travels to join his brothers in the halls of Valhalla, you must take his place. Our clan is beset by petty squabbles. Some amongst our people would contest your claim to leadership, as they saw discord our neighbors plot against us. Gather your most trusted clansmen. Together you will face dangers which none can predict. You will be challenged on your leadership, your resolve, your wisdom. Build a ship and take your housecarls across the sea. Power and strength for our clan must be sought outside the Norse lands. If you show yourself to be bold, the gods will follow you into battle. Your legacy will live for 1,000 years beyond your time. Our clan must prevail.
We shall prevail. Your father's last journey was bound for the British Isles. Less than half the crew returned. Well, hopefully more than half the crew can return this time. Aid me, Odin, in my effort to bind the struggles of a bygone time, as glimmering light on glass. It is the evening after your father's funeral. When you close your eyes, the image of the blazing ship shimmers in the dark behind your eyelids. It is not a common ritual this far south, but your mother Astridir, who hails from the land of the Geats, insisted upon it. All of the thanes of the neighbouring clans have come to attend your feast in his honour. Your father may not have been the most successful thane, but as a warrior he commanded the respect of many. The guests are filing into your longhouse. The thanes enter first, with each trailing a modest group of warriors. Your mother leads in to whisper a few words of advice before taking her seat. You should greet each of the thanes before the feast begins, but listen well to their words. Few of them would benefit from making this a true, smooth transition. It will be important to know where they stand. Characters with the golden nameplates have dialogue for you. Click on them to talk to them. The icon over your chair is the quest marker. You can turn these off in the settings for a more independent experience. Gold quest markers indicate mandatory objectives. Talking to the other thanes is not mandatory, marked by the silver quest markers, which indicate additional objectives. When you want to move on, take a seat by clicking on your chair. There's my chair. My chair's there. Okay. Let's go and talk to Asleifr. Asleifr is a distant cousin. Leadership of the clan has moved between your side of the family and his for generations. He is known as a skilled warrior and a hard worker. Asleifr sits with his two closest friends.
Our condolences on the passing of your father. At least he died the way he would have wanted. You will be feasting with the gods tonight.
Thank you. I hope there's no bad blood between us. There's no need for pretense. You never respected my father. I will not ask that you begin now. I don't see why we should be so aggressive. He hasn't been aggressive. Thank you. I hope there will be no bad blood. Silfir seems to consider this for a while before replying. It's no secret I didn't agree with how Magnar ruled the clan. Bearing this in mind, I don't see what gives you the right to succeed him, but this feast is in his honour. I will not insult his memory here, nor will I challenge your claim to leadership. You believe you'll be more suited to lead us, or thank you for keeping those things separate? You think you'll be more suited? I do. Because my father failed you? Oh, you are wrong. I hope you'll give me a chance to prove it. If you challenge my birthright, you will pay for your life. We'll go with 2. We're a diplomat here. Asleifr nods once, then he returns his attention to his companions. Okay, it's fair. Ketil.
Busy entertaining your guests?
Not too busy to check in on you. As busy as you'd expect. Why are you over here by yourself? Not too busy. I've had an uneasy feeling all night. Have you seen Skúl's Huskarls over there in the corner? Rodderga and Skaki. I've heard stories about them. Nefja seems to be expecting trouble too, so I've decided to go easy on the mead and keep an eye out. I appreciate that. Never hurts to be more careful. He throws his head back slightly towards the Asleifr. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the big lug back there. He and his friends have been putting their heads together all night. I think he is planning something. I'll keep an eye. Leave the watch to me. This is your feat. You should relax and enjoy yourself. I'll alert you if anything happens. What about Rurik? Your elder brother, Rurik, who has had a penchant for music. He looks up, gives you a warm smile as you approach him. Got Klet, brother. I mean, my honoured Thane. How do you feel? I am well. I know our father's in Valhall now. Fine. How about you? Don't think it's quite sunk in yet. The father's gone. Can't believe what a mess the old man left me. He's a skald, so he probably likes stories, so I'm going to say Valhall. Rurik smiles. You can barely hear the soft voice over the din of the feast. I'm certain he is. Odin would have been a fool not to accept a warrior like him. How's everyone been treating you? Everyone knows you are the better warrior and a stronger-willed man than I. Nobody wants me as the Thane. To tell you the truth, I think our clansmen feel almost as relieved as I am that you took on the mantle. I have to go and be a good host. I'll talk to you later. Just use the old signal if you need help to get out of conversation with one of the other Thanes. Alright, let's see what Halfdan has to say. Halfdanr is the Thane of a slightly larger clan that borders the land to the east. He wears a solemn expression and nods heavily when you approach him. Magnar is in Valhall now, Mordred. There is no doubt about it. He died doing what he loved. But while he feasts among the heroes, you are left here to sort out the pieces. You've got your work cut out for you. What do you mean? Your father managed to make quite a few enemies in his time, most of them amongst his own clan. If you permit me to be honest, he never paid one speck of attention to the wishes and needs of his own people. Surely you're not expecting your claim to leadership to go uncontested. No one in this clan's more suited to lead than I. I'll win them over. Well, shit. Hope you're right. At least it's plain for all to see you throw a bloody fine feast. Halfdanner empties his mug of mead and a single gulp, then slams the mug into the table and calls for a thrall for a refill. I like him. He's cool.